Okay. Hello, good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all can hear me clearly. I hope so. All right. So let me start off by introducing myself. My name is Muzammil Kazi. I am a program advisor here with Morgan International at BIPF for the ACCA qualification. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to today's session. Today, we'll be taking you through the ACCA qualification and how it can further your career in the field of accounting and auditing, etc. And joining me today from their Dubai office, we have Mr. Tahir Kapasi, who is basically the regional education manager with ACCA Middle East. We have Mr. Ahmed Bilal, who is education executive, also from ACCA Middle East, and Mr. Masood Abbasi, who is the country manager, Morgan International in Bahrain. Okay. Today's agenda, I'll be taking you through a brief introduction of BIBF and Morgan International and how we partner together to offer this particular qualification in Bahrain. I'll be then handing over the platform to Mr. Ahmed Bilal, who will basically give a brief background about the association, ACCA, and the qualification that they have to offer. Then Mr. Tahir Kapasi will be letting us know of the career options that are available to students once they complete this particular qualification and where the world of accountancy is headed in the future. Okay, so we'll be going through all of that in this particular session. And after that, I'll be taking you through the support that we provide to students at BIBF along with Morgan International. And towards the end, we will have a question and answer session where we will be answering all of your questions. I will request all of you to drop your questions in the chat box that you can see on the side of the screen. My colleague Abby John from Morgan International will be noting down your questions, and towards the end, we will be answering all of your questions. So let me just take you to, let me just give you a brief introduction of Morgan International. Morgan International was incorporated in 1995. It has over 25 years of experience, over which it has trained over 100,000 students in the field of accounting, finance, human resources, digital marketing, and project management. Over the course of its history, Morgan International has partnered with leading institutions and publishers, an example of which is BPP for the ACCA qualification, which is an ACCA approved learning material provider. Morgan International also partners with other leading publishers around the world, which includes Becker for the CPA qualification, which includes Kaplan Schweizer for the CFA qualification, and numerous other learning providers and publishers. Morgan International also partners with local training providers. One such example is BIBF in Bahrain, with whom we partner in Bahrain to offer ACCA qualification, amongst other qualifications as well that we offer here in Bahrain. In terms of industry experience, we've got experience in offering professional trainings to corporate clients as well as students who come from school. Our corporate clientele includes Ernst & Young, KPMG, Saudi Aramco, just to name a few of them. We've delivered courses in the field of accounting, finance, human resources, project management, digital marketing, etc. All right. We have a global network of 35 locations where we are offering, our numerous programs that I've already highlighted. And we have over 350 expert faculty members who are delivering these programs in our 32 locations worldwide. So our locations include in North America, we've got an office in Canada. In Europe, we've got locations in France, Switzerland, Germany, Russia, Kazakhstan. In the Middle East, we are all over the Middle East, in Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and we are also present in multiple locations in India as well. Morgan International portfolio of professional certifications includes certifications in the field of accounting, finance, human resources, digital marketing, supply chain, and we are offering all of these programs across our global network of 32 offices and training centers. And in Bahrain, we are not offering all of them. However, several of the qualifications that you can see on your screen are under pipeline, or we are currently offering them in partnership with BIBF. So at the moment, we are offering CPA, CMA, ACCA, CIA. All of these qualifications are currently being offered, and qualifications such as PMP, digital marketing, and all of these are under pipeline, which we will be offering in partnership with BIBF. Or if you would like to pursue them right away, we can connect you to our global offices around the world. These courses are running online as well as on the ground physically. So if you're interested, you can get in touch with us and we can help you with those qualifications as well. Now I'd like to give you an overview of our partner here in Bahrain, which is the Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance. It was established in 1981 as a non-profit organization, and since its inception, it has trained over 360,000 students, over 600 plus programs, and it is being governed by the Central Bank of Bahrain, which is the monetary agency here in Bahrain. BIBF has delivered trainings to 64 countries, either by sending their expert faculties to those particular countries, or by receiving delegates here in Bahrain. And by doing so, they've gained global trust of global organizations such as the World Bank, Amazon, and the Islamic Development Bank. BIBF has 7 learning centers here at their institute, which collaborate to offer several programs, so which include corporate trainings, several diploma programs, several professional qualifications, certifications, and academic programs, which includes bachelor's degree programs in accounting and finance, master's degree programs. These centers include the Banking Center, Accounting and Finance Center, Insurance Center, Islamic Finance Center, Leadership and Management Center, Digital Transformation Project Management, and the Academic Center. So if you are interested in pursuing any of the programs from these particular centers, you can please feel free to approach us and we'll help you through with that as well. From a professional qualification point of view, in partnership with BIBF, we are offering the following professional qualifications, which includes ACCA, of course, which is the topic of discussion today, FIA, which is part of the ACCA qualification. Besides that, we are offering CMA, CAPA, CFA, CIA. And as mentioned earlier, we partner Morgan International partners with leading publishers, which you can see on screen. For ACCA, we partner with BPP, which is an approved learning materials provider from ACCA. For CPA, we partner with a leading institution called Becker, which is top-notch for when it comes to the preparation of the CPA program. Similarly, Kaplan Schweizer for CPA. For CMA, again, it's Becker, and then for CIA, it's PRC. Okay, so if you're interested in those programs, again, please feel free to get in touch and we will help you out with those programs as well. Okay, taking BIBF into the future, BIBF has constructed, it has invested heavily in the construction of its new BIBF building, which is located in the heart of Bahrain Financial Harbor, just walking distance away from the Bahrain Bourse, which is the stock market of Bahrain. It is a state-of-the-art facility, and it is due to be opened in sometime in September this year, so in a couple of months' time. And it will have basically students enrolling for the upcoming batches. Will hopefully, if the situation with the COVID goes well, they'll be attending their classes in this particular premises with all of the state-of-the-art facilities. I'd now like to give the platform to my colleague, Mr. Ahmed Bilal from ACCA Middle East, who will now give us a brief background about the the association, ACCA, and the ACCA qualification itself. So, Mr. Bilal, the platform is all yours now.
Thank you, Muzammil. Muzammil, if you could allow me to share my presentation.
Please, please.
So while my presentation is loading, I would like to first thank Morgan International and BIBF for arranging this session. Thank you so much. It's a great effort in order to assess the students who are looking for further, to decide about their career, about further choice in their career, what they have to do. So it's a great opportunity. Thank you so much for that. So just give me 2 minutes while my presentation is loading. Muzammil, can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can see it now.
Perfect, perfect. So, hello and assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Ahmed Bilal Manzoor, and I'm Education Executive for ACCA Middle East. Today, I will be talking about the two main topics. First of all, I will be telling you about the ACCA. What does ACCA stand for? What do we do? What is our role in developing the accountancy profession? And number two, I will take you through the ACCA qualification. That what does the ACCA qualification mean? What are the components, different components that are, that comprises, that makes the ACCA qualification? So without further ado, let's start with the definition of ACCA. So what does ACCA stand? ACCA is Association of Chartered Certified Accountant, which is a global body of professional accountants. We are actually a thriving global community of 233,000 members and 536,000 future members who are based in 178 countries. And as a community, we uphold the highest professional and ethical values. So going into further details about ACCA. So maybe any of you know, and if you don't know, ACCA was founded back in 1904. So that means we are in the business for more than 115 years. And we think, or we claim that we are the world's most forward-thinking accounting body. Why do we think so? Or why do we believe that we are the world's most forward-thinking accounting body? Because since our inception, we are working all over the world to build the profession, right? And to make this society a fairer and more transparent place. How do we do that? So talking about the ACC qualification is the world leading accountancy qualification, which is set on the highest ethical standards for both our members and future members. We produce well-rounded, future-ready professionals who are ready to hit the ground running when they enter the professional workplace. We create the best careers by connecting our members and future members with organizations all over the world. We build global partnerships with education providers, businesses, and governments. And last but not the least, we continually work to shape and develop the accountancy profession the world needs. So this is a brief introduction about the background of ACCA. What does ACCA stand for? What do we do? Now talking about our global footprint. So as I have already mentioned that we have a proud history of innovation, diversity, and excellence, and we have been doing so for last 100 and more than 115 years. Talking about our members, we have more than 233,000 members worldwide, along with 536,000 future members. We call them students and affiliates, and we also call them future members. These members and future members are based in over 178 countries worldwide. And these students and future members and members are supported by our network of 346 quality tuition providers all over the world. Along with that, we have 110 offices in 57 countries. So this is a brief introduction about our global footprints, that the number of members, the number of future members, how many, all over the world, how many countries we have our presence in. So now I will talk you through the ACCA qualification, and we call ACCA qualification a global passport, right? So ACCA qualification is considered to be a global passport to career success. And why is it called, or why is it considered a global passport? Because it is globally recognized. So if you have the ACCA qualification, that means you have a qualification which has global recognition, which provides you with unlimited career opportunities. You will have innovative learning strategies. You will be getting on a qualification which is relevant to the changing times. So talking about what does relevance means here, that if we talk about accountancy as a profession, it is a career field, or it is a career option that is relevant to whatever business you are in. No matter which business field you choose, there will be a need of accountancy profession. Accountants are needed everywhere. And last but not the least, flexibility. So if you start your journey with ACCA, that means you have a qualification which provides you with great amount of flexibility, which means that you can continue with your ACCA qualification according to your choice, according to your time. So if you are working professional, or if you are a school leaver, or if you are still studying with a university, you still have the flexibility to join ACCA qualification and study at your own pace. Moving forward, the next thing is the qualification structure. That what are the different components of the ACCA qualification? So there are three main components. The ACCA qualification comprises of exams, ethics, and experience, right? So these three things all together makes ACCA qualification. So the first two elements, which are exams and ethics, if you complete exams and ethics, you will be called ACCA affiliate. And once you complete the 3 years experience along with your exams and ethics, you claim, or you achieve the final destination, which is ACCA membership. In later slides, in next slides, I will be talking through each of these points one by one to give you more information about the exams component, about the ethics component, and about the experience element. So I'm not sure if you are able to see the screen clearly, if you're able to see different blocks on this diagram. Muzammil, if you can confirm if the image is visible enough, otherwise I'll have to share the PDF file. Muzammil, I guess you are on mute.
The text is actually very small. It is visible, but the text is small.
No problem. So I will share the PDF files. Just give me one moment. Right, so is it visible now?
It's much clearer. It's much clear now. But again, needs, if you can increase the size.
Is it visible now?
Yes. Now it's a bit more clear.
Right. So what does this diagram depict, or what does it represent? It represents the different entry routes into the ACCA qualification. So mainly there are three types of entry routes into the ACCA qualification. Number one is you are a school leaver, you have completed, if you are from a Pakistan or Indian school background and you have finished your school, so that is the first entry point. The second entry point is you are from the Cambridge background, you have ONA levels, or you have a normal bachelor's degree from any university which is not relevant to accounting and finance. And number three, the third entry route would be if you are studying with an ACC accredited university for an accounting program, let's say, which allows you to give, which will allow you to have certain number of exemptions into the ACC qualification. So I will explain each of these entry routes one by one. So first of all is, if you're a school leaver, if you have completed, so for example, if you are from the CBSE educational system and you have completed your 12th grade, so that means you will be able to join your ACC qualification through the Foundations in Accountancy route. That means that this red box here, which says Diploma in Accounting and Business, you can start your journey from this level. So there are two previous level as well, which are level 2 and level 3. These two levels are not mandatory. It's up to the student if they wish to start there, if they don't have a basic understanding of accounting and finance, and if they wish to know more about it, they can start their journey with level 2 and level 3. But otherwise, students have the option to start their journey from level 4, which is Diploma in Accounting and Business. They have to pass 3 papers, which are Business and Technology, Management Accounting, and Financial Accounting. Once they pass these 3 papers, they are transferred into the main qualification, which is known as the ACC qualification, which is on your right hand side, this red block. So once you are coming from the Foundations in Accountancy route, that means your first level, which is the applied knowledge level in the ACC qualification, will be exempted, because these 3 papers are the same. So that means the applied knowledge level will be exempted, and you will start directly from applied skills level from the paper Corporate and Business Law onwards. So in total, there are 13 exams in ACC qualification. That means if you have studied 3 papers in the Diploma in Accounting and Business or level 4, you will be left with only 10 papers. And these 10 papers are divided into 2 parts. So the first part would be applied skills level. This red box here, which I'm highlighting now, it has 6 exams. And the other level is, the next level is strategic professional level, the level down here, which has 4 papers. So once you are in the applied skills level, you will be required to pass these 6 papers. And after passing these 6 papers, you will be eligible to go on. Either you can start your next papers from the strategic professional level, or you have the option of applying for BSc in Applied Accounting, which is, we have an agreement with a public university in UK, Oxford Brookes University, which allows our student the opportunity to go for a BSc in Applied Accounting degree by only submitting a research and analysis project. So what does that mean? I will reiterate whatever I've said, that once you have completed your 6 papers from the applied skills level, you have to submit a research and analysis project to Oxford Brookes University. And if you are able to pass that research and analysis project, you will be awarded with a bachelor's degree, which is BSc in Applied Accounting. And this is a globally recognized BSc degree. So what is the benefit? The benefit is that you would not have to pass any additional paper. You would not have to pay any extra fee other than the fee that you have to pay for the submission of the research and analysis project. And if you have cleared, you will be awarded a BSc degree. After passing the applied skills level, you can continue on from the strategic professional level, which is further divided into 2 parts. The first part is essentials, which has 2 papers, strategic business leader and strategic business reporting. And the next level is optional, which has 4 papers, but you'll have to choose 2 papers from these 4 optional papers. So 6 papers from the applied skills level, 2 papers from the essential, and 2 papers from the optional level. Once you have passed all these papers, you will be called ACC affiliate, because you have completed the exam component of the ACC qualification. So once you have completed the exam component, you'll be called ACCA affiliate. On this part, you have the option of completed the second component, which is the ethics part, which is mentioned right here. You can complete this part after completing your applied skills level. And after completing applied skills and ethics, you will be eligible to submit your research and analysis project. But if you don't decide to go for BSc degree after completing the applied skills level, you can complete the ethics part after completing all your papers. And after that, you will be left with the last component, which is the experience element. And I will explain about the experience element when we will cover this on our slides. So this was the first entry route into the ACC qualification. Now the second entry route is that if you are from Cambridge background and if you have certain grades in your O and A levels, or if you are from an Indian school background and you have 5 subjects, and including maths and English, and 3 should be from the grade 12 and 2 should be from the grade 10. And in those subjects, you should score at least 65% marks in 2 of the subjects and at least 50% mark from the remaining 3 subjects. So if you meet this criteria, you can skip the diploma in accounting and business route from the foundations and accountancy qualification, and you can enroll directly into the applied knowledge into the ACC qualification. And you will continue your journey by completing the applied knowledge level, and the rest of the journey will be the same as you have started with the foundations and accountancy. The third route would be if you have done a bachelor's degree in accounting or finance, or if you have a master's degree in business administration, which would allow you or which would give you an opportunity to claim certain number of exemptions from the ACC qualification. So let's just say that you have a bachelor's degree in accounting, which is from a university which is not accredited by ACCA. So any university which offers an accounting program on the bachelor's level, but which is not recognized by ACCA, would mean that you have at least 4 exemptions in the ACC qualification. What does that mean? That you will be exempted from the first 3 papers from the applied knowledge level, and you will also be exempted from the corporate and business law from the applied skills level. And you will be left with only 10 papers, 5 from the applied skills and 4 from the strategic professional levels. So these are the 3 entry routes into the ACC qualification. If you are from any background, you can start your journey from any educational background into the ACC qualification. So at this point, if you have any question with regards to the entry routes, or if with regards to exemptions, or with regards to anything into the ACC qualification, you can ask now, or you can keep your questions towards the end of the session, where we would be having a dedicated Q&A session. So Muzammil, if you have any question, otherwise I will reshare my slides.
Yes, Abby, do we have any questions so far?
No, nothing yet.
So my humble request to audience, please don't be shy. We are here to support you. If you do have questions, please let us know in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. I believe we have one question. If Abby, you can read it out, and Mr. Ahmed can maybe answer that.
Yes. So we have a question. What if I have BSc Chemical Engineer? Do I get exempted?
I'm sorry, Muzammil, can you please repeat that question?
Yes. So a candidate has asked, what if I have BSc Chemical Engineer? Do I get exempted?
BSc in what? I'm sorry, the voice is breaking. That's why I was not able to hear which is the course.
It's BSc in Chemical Engineering.
Right. So BSc in Chemical Engineering is a non-accounting or finance related qualification. So that means that you might not be able to get any exemptions into the ACC qualifications, and you would have to start your journey into the ACC qualification from the first paper onwards.
Yes, so we haven't received any other question yet.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you. So we'll move forward.
So we are taking the questions now, or do we keep it until the Q&A session?
Yes, we can take them now.
We are taking it now?
Yes, Abby, if you can read them out, and Mr. Ahmed can answer those questions. I believe they're related to the qualification entry requirements.
Okay, so a candidate has asked, does the relevant experience part count even before starting my ACCA journey?
Yes, I will definitely come to that part, but just to answer your question, yes, if you have a prior relevant experience before joining ACC qualification, it will be counted towards the experience element.
Another question, what if I have taken BTech and A-level from my school?
Right, in that case, since it's a combination of two separate qualifications, we would recommend that if you can send across your educational documents to us, so that we can assess and let you know that if you meet the eligibility criteria directly into the ACC qualification. But even if you don't, you can start your journey from the foundations in accountancy, which is actually, there is no difference if you start your journey from foundations in accountancy or the ACC qualification. It's just a different entry point into the qualification. So in both cases, you will be starting the ACCA papers from the business and technology, the first paper.
So I think we have another question. Do we get to have the experience of working with ACCA course, the 36 week of experience that is part? Do we get to do it with BIBF or will we have to do it?
Abby, let's take the experience related questions towards the end of the session because we haven't covered that particular section yet.
All right, that'll be better. All right, sure. I will collect the questions.
Right. So we have discussed the first component of the ACC qualification, which is the exam part. And we have also discussed about the different entry points into the ACC qualification. And also I have shared the details about the eligibility that on the basis of what qualifications you will be eligible to directly join ACC qualification. And if you don't meet the eligibility criteria, that means you can still start your ACCA journey, but the foundations in accountancy part of the qualification. So moving forward, this is the same, this diagram actually explains the same thing which I have explained on the PDF diagram, but in a more systematic way so that you can see it, everything on a single slide. So there are all the three elements, exams, ethics, and experience are covered on this slide. So what does that mean? So if you don't have the minimum eligibility criteria, you will start your journey with the foundations in accountancy. You will have to pass the level 4, RQF level 4, which is the diploma in accounting and business. You will transfer on to the ACC qualification and start your journey from the fourth paper onwards, which is in the applied skills level. But if you do meet the eligibility criteria, that means you can start your journey directly from the applied knowledge in the ACC qualification section. You will pass the applied knowledge level, and then you will continue your journey with applied skills. Midway through, once you are done with your applied knowledge and applied skills level, you can see the next box, which explains ethics and professional skills module, which is a mandatory requirement in order to qualify as an ACCA member. At this point, ACC recommends that once you are done with your applied skills level, you should complete your ethics and professional skills module because it will help you in passing, or it will help you in supporting the progression through your strategic professional level. Also, if you have to go for your BSc in applied accounting from Oxford Brookes University, it is one of the mandatory requirements to complete your ethics and professional skills module before you can submit your thesis to Oxford Brookes University. And above everything, on the top, you can see practical experience requirements. So that means once you're done with the exam part, you can start your journey or you can start gaining your practical experience. Or if you have experience even before joining ACCA qualification, or during your journey through passing your ACC exam, you can have all of those experience. As long as those are relevant, those will be counted towards your practical experience requirement. So now talking about the exams part. So going back on the previous slides, the first three papers on the applied knowledge level, these exams are called on-demand CBs. So that means these exams are available throughout the year. So that means if you register with ACCA today and you have already studied for 1 or 2 exams and you wish to appear in any of the exams within this given month, you can do so. So that means you don't have to wait for a specific time or specific period in order to appear for that exam. You can contact one of the CB center and you can book that exam, and you have to give that exam on computer. And as soon as you're done with your exam, you'll be able to see your result right away. So you don't have to wait for the result. You'll be able to see what you have scored, and you can progress toward your next paper. You can decide if you are unable to clear your paper, you'll be able to know right away. From the applied skills level, the first paper, which is corporate and business law, that is also similar to the first 3 papers, which means it is also on-demand CBE. But the remaining papers in the applied skills level and from the strategic professional levels, these papers are called session CBE. So that means these papers you will only be able to give in session, and ACCA runs 4 sessions in a year, in March, June, September, and December. So the remaining 10 exams, 5 from applied skills and 4 from the strategic professional level, 9 exams to be exact. These papers you can only give in sessions March, June, September, and December. And these exams are different from the exams in the applied knowledge level. So on the applied knowledge level, these are mainly objective test questions. But in applied skills level and in strategic professional level, these exams have a combination of objective test questions as well as constructed response questions, right? So altogether, the first 4 papers are on-demand CBs, and the remaining papers are session CBs, which you can give in only the March, June, September, and December, the 4 times in a year. And in a given year, you can appear in 8 new or 8 distant exams in 1 year. So that means if you start your journey today, in 1 year's time, you can give a maximum of 8 new exams within that year, or if you start your journey in 2021, you can give only 8 exams. Moving forward, I mentioned about the exemptions, right? So if anyone has an accountancy degree and bachelor's degree from accountancy, or if anyone has a master's degree and they wish to see the number of exemptions they may be entitled to. So there is an exemption calculator on ACCA's website where you can go, you can punch in the name of your university and your country name where the institute is situated, and you will be able to see that how many exemptions you'll be entitled to on the basis of your prior qualification. So simply you can go to the website accglobal.com, and on the website you can search for exemptions calculator, and it's a very easy 3-4 steps process where you'll be able to find out how many exemptions you'll be entitled to, or if you are not eligible for any exemptions. So now moving towards the second component of the qualification. So first element was exams, which we have covered. The second component is ethics, which is known as ethics and professional skills module. So the ethics and professional skills module is an essential part of the ACC qualification, as it helps increase your employability and workplace effectiveness. It is built like this, that it helps you in increasing your employability and workplace effectiveness. The module uses a realistic business simulation to develop a number of professional skills such as leadership, communication, commercial awareness, interpersonal skills, leadership, and team working. And once you have completed the module, you will receive a certificate, and you'll be one step closer to ACCA membership. Altogether, it takes about 15 to 20 hours in order to complete this module, and you'll be able to complete this module online. And at the end of the module, there's an assessment, and you have to pass that assessment in order to clear this particular component. Now, moving towards the last component of the qualification, which is experience. That is also known as practical experience requirement. So in order to, once you're done with your exams and ethics part, the last component that you are left with is experience. And in order to achieve this component, you have to achieve 36 months in a relevant role. So practical experience requirement consists of actually two components further. One is 36 months in a relevant role, and second is 9 performance objectives. And I will talk about both of these elements one by one. So 36 months in a relevant role means that you have to complete 3 years in a relevant role, and relevant role means where majority of your work is relevant to accountancy, finance, auditing, taxation, or relevant fields. So if you have a relevant work experience, that can be counted towards PER. And the other thing is 9 performance objectives. So in these 36 months, you have to achieve 9 performance objectives. And those performance objectives are actually the minimum set of standards which you have to complete in order to satisfy that you have claimed, you have achieved this 36 months experience. So in one scenario, if you're completing your 36 months experience, but if you're not fulfilling your objectives, you will not be able to satisfy the experience part of it. And experience can be any prior experience before joining ACC qualification. Experience can be while you are studying for the ACC qualification, and you can also achieve, or you can also claim your experience once you are done with your qualification. So ACCA is very flexible when it comes to experience element. So overall, this is your step-by-step journey, the overall journey towards your ACCA membership. So once you start your journey from the applied knowledge level or from the foundations in accountancy, RQF level 4, and once you complete your first 3 papers, you are awarded the first diploma on the basis of passing your 3 papers, which is diploma in accounting and business. After that, you continue your journey with applied skills level, and you pass the remaining 6 papers in the applied skills level. And once you do that, you are awarded an advanced diploma in accounting and business. At this point, you have the opportunity of submitting your ethics and professional skills module, completing your ethics and professional skills module, and submitting your research and analysis project to Oxford Brookes University. And if you do that, you will be awarded a BSc degree in applied accounting from Oxford Brookes University. After that, you will continue your remaining papers in the strategic professional level. You will complete it. By the time you complete it, you have, you will be awarded strategic professional certificate on completion of your remaining 4 papers. And after that, the last element, which is the MSc Professional Accounting, you also have the opportunity of claiming a master's degree in professional accounting from University of London, which is one of the leading universities in the world. And you can do so while you have completed the first 2 papers in the strategic professional level, or after once you are done with all of your papers in the ACC qualification. So you have 2 routes into the University of London program. After completing your essential papers, you have to go for the University of London, or otherwise you can complete the remaining 2 papers from the optional level, and then you can apply for the University of London Professional Accounting, MSc in Professional Accounting. So this is an overall journey, step-by-step journey into the ACC qualification, that how many certificates you get, on what step you are eligible for degree program, which certificates you'll be entitled to. Next part is the approved learning partners. So we, as on the initial slides, I explained that we have more than 350 approved learning partners globally. Just like BIBF, which is one of our platinum learning partners in Bahrain. We have a network of approved learning partners worldwide. And approved learning partners, actually, it's a platform where we develop a mutually beneficial relationship. And in order to ensure that these tuition providers offer first-class tuition to our students. And these approvals are given based on a certain performance targets and representing best global practices. So if any tuition provider, they are claiming that they are at the platinum level, that means they meet the highest standards of performance targets. They continue to meet our performance targets year after year. And that's how they achieve the highest standard, which is the platinum level. So in a nutshell, the overall ACC qualification, it covers everything. So it has the, it has everything that a professional accountant needs to know. It is a complete syllabus, and it is, it does not only cover the important areas, it is also, it gives you the skills, knowledge, it gives you everything that a professional accountant needs. And particularly important is that, as well as covering vital areas of strategic management, risk and planning, it also covers other key areas where finance professionals need a firm ground, including financial reporting, tax, and auditing. As well as we have academic partnerships all over the world, worldwide. We have, the employers all over the world. 86% of the employers think that the ACCA members meet their needs, wherever they are, so employers are satisfied with ACCA members all over the world. So how do I register? On the ACCA website, if you go to the ACC Global website, on the home page, there is a tab which says Apply Now. It's a very simple and straightforward step. 4 steps. You just need to complete 4 steps, and you have to upload all your supporting documents there. You have to submit your initial registration fee there, and within 5 to 7 days, you'll be able to complete your initial registration. And on this slide, I have just covered all the important links related to important dates, fee and charges, the link to our tuition provider directory, study support and resources. We have a wealth of study support resources available on our website, more information related to ethics and professional skills module, and practical experience requirement. And at last, if you wish to reach out to ACCA Middle East team, you have the contact details in front of you. Otherwise, you can reach out directly to BIBF, which will, they will be sharing their contact details most probably at the end of this session. Thank you so much. Over to you, Muzammil.
Thank you so much, Ahmed, for the very informative session on the ACCA and the ACCA qualification itself. I'd like now, I'll hand over the platform to Tahir, so that Tahir can discuss the career options that are available to students once they're done with their ACCA studies, and discuss the future of accountancy, where it is headed. So Tahir, the platform is now all yours.
Thank you very much, Muzammil. And I'd just like to quickly share my screen. Apologies, that's the wrong presentation. Right, I'm hoping this is the right one. You can tell how many presentations I've got open on my system. But anyway, thank you very much, Muzammil, for the kind introduction, and to BIBF, who are one of our very, sort of important and strategic partners in Bahrain in terms of supporting our students achieve their ambitions, through preparing them for, passing their ACCA exams. Now, it's very interesting. All of you have come in, and you're trying to obviously understand what options do you have, going forward in terms of preparing for your ACCA, and a career potentially to sort of look into accounting and finance, and it's always interesting to understand where you're headed as a oops, I think my presentation has dropped. But it's always interesting to understand where you're heading, and then where the accountancy and finance profession on an overall is going, in the near future. So what I'm aiming to basically do out of this session is, yes, whilst we've got the the usual accounting and finance professions or career choices that are going on at the moment. So you can talk about becoming an auditor. You can basically talk about becoming a a tax consultant, a cost accountant, anything, going all the way up to CFO. But how long are these professions going to be relevant? How long are they going to be valid is something for us to be able to assess, as students or somebody who is potentially looking at, taking that next plunge into your careers. It's important for you to understand, where you are headed with your professional qualifications journey, and basically what are you looking forward to in terms of achieving your career ambitions. So, what we will be assessing today is the fact that moving on, this is what the accountancy and finance career is going to look like. What I'm going to be presenting now is basically one of our, research reports, and this is going to show to you how rich ACCA as a qualification or a professional body is, basically because, we look into a lot of details, we look into where the profession is progressing. And like my colleague Ahmed mentioned, it's not always about just, giving our students technical knowledge or giving them the exams and giving them the qualification, but it's also constantly about assessing how the profession or the qualification is going to evolve and how we as ACCA can support the evolution of the accountancy and the finance profession. So let's move on. What we will be covering now on the presentation is basically look at future ready accountancy careers. This is the report that I was mentioning earlier, and basically what are some of the factors that are influencing, the new professions or the new accountancy skills or new, basically spheres of the profession that employers are currently looking into or demanding. What kind of skills do, future ready professionals need to have in order to succeed in the accountancy and finance professions, and we'll also look into, how this matches into what we are offering to students as the ACCA qualification. So let's dive into the factors, that are now enforcing a lot of these changes coming up. So change is obviously the new normal. It has always been inevitable, and things have changed. The way we do businesses have changed. The way we interact has changed. Normally this would have been a very much face-to-face kind of a session. The fact that you're all probably sitting in Bahrain and listening to me speaking out of Dubai in the ACC office is in itself a testament to how things have changed and how technology has been an enabler for making so many things possible. Things are available to us at a click or a tip of our finger, on a screen which is made of glass and some metal pieces together. So just see the evolution of how things are changing. Accountancy as a profession is no exception. Disruptions have been faced by every profession globally, with factors like globalization, digitalization taking the forefront, the rise in artificial intelligence, data technology, coupled with the rise in sophisticated mechanisms that have come into place in the accounting and finance profession has been humongous. I mean, I remember in the previous days, the old accountants, and this was an example my father gave when I first went to him, and I said, father, daddy, I want to basically go into accounting and finance. I want to pursue a career and become a chartered accountant. And my father's immediate reaction, because I'm from India. My father was an engineering student. Mother was a doctor. Immediate reaction was, well, what are you going to do becoming an accountant? Are you just going to sit and write books? Because that's what their sort of memory of an accountant, was, and that's what their perception of what an accountant does was. Now that has changed tremendously from that, that era to what accountants and finance professionals actually do this day and age. It's no longer about writing journals and bookkeeping entries and all of that. It's gone way beyond that. The future accountants or the modern day accountants are the real communicators. They are the heart of any organization. They are the key employees of organization that really help understand, or steer the organization towards sustainability, towards profitability, but also ensuring that they are the ideal corporate citizens of this day and age. The the future the power of future ready talent, also looked into how accountancy is a very much recession proof career. Accountants are needed everywhere, wherever you go. Finance, accounting and finance is the global language of business. Accounting and finance professionals are always sought after because these are the people that give organizations, whether it is a recession or it's a boom, they're the ones who give that strategic directions. They are the ones that help organizations make that right decisions. Demand is obviously going to keep increasing because wherever you are, companies, as long as they want to operate, as long as they want to make profits, as long as they want to make sense behind whatever is going on their financial statements, will require, professionals who are, equipped with the right kind of technical, but also the soft skills. So accountants will be the future of any organization still, moving forward. And you'll see as we progress through the next couple of slides, what I'm talking about, and I'll start validating everything that that I've been mentioning to you over the last couple of slides. So the power of accountancy and finance should not be underestimated. That the accounting and finance professional, like I said, are the engines that help organizations with making decisions. They are the ones that steer, and today's organizations don't just have to generate financial return. It's no longer about making profits, but it's also about becoming good corporate citizens. This is something I mentioned in one of the earlier slides. If an organization is just purely focusing on ensuring that they are maximizing their returns and their profits, then it doesn't last too long, because in today's world, with the media, with the digital coverage, the PR, a lot has been said, and we see how simply by one famous personality moving a product away from their site has impacted organizations, and they lose billions and billions of worth overnight or over seconds, basically. So that's the power of media in this day and age, and as organizations cannot avoid these kind of things. So it's not always about accountants guiding them to make sure they make extra profits, but it's also about helping organizations understand how they can be better corporate citizens, guiding organizations towards a longer sustainability road. Now, broadly, the research piece, I mean, this goes into too much detail, but I think for the purpose and the benefit of this setup and the audience that we have, I will just basically touch upon, what are the key sort of findings from that research report. Obviously, the detailed report is available on our website for anybody who would like to go and start reading a bit more about it. In fact, I would encourage everybody who's on this session today to really go in and engage with these reports and find out about what you are getting into, because you've obviously come and attending, you're coming and attending this session. There is a certain amount of interest in you that is probably pulled you into this session. You want to know more about ACCA, you want to pursue ACCA as a potential career option. But let's look at it, about doing some research today. The way we operate and the way we function, and this is completely surprising, and I see how things have changed. We don't buy a single thing before we review, we go through the reviews of that product, or even if it is as simple as picking up what restaurant we want to go to, we'll obviously go and check, but what is the rating of this restaurant? What are the reviews, etc. We do a bit of research basically before doing anything this day and age. So, this is all about your career choice. This is all about making that big decision, that's going to have an impact in your future, on your careers. You've got to start finding out about where you're heading, what you're getting into, what is the future of this profession and where it's going to go. So, I would urge that you get in and you start reading a bit more about it. But just for your information and for the sake of this session, I will touch upon, the broadly the 5 areas. So basically what you're seeing on the screen here is, and then let's look at the inner sort of gray boxes, where this is where, we think in our report the future accounting and finance professionals will operate. These are all broad areas, again, very broad umbrellas, and within each of these umbrellas there'll be several roles that might come into play, but predominantly we've split these into 5 zones of future career opportunities. Zone 1 obviously being the assurance advocate. Now, assurance is a huge thing, and in accounting and finance professionals are obviously looked upon when it comes to assurances. Assurances meaning the assurance of financial statements, the assurances of an organization's financial stability, and a lot more, whether it is risk, whether it is tax. Assurance advocates will always be, broad spectrum and a huge career zone for accounting and finance professionals in the future. There will be the business transformers. Business transformers, when I say business transformers, these are people who will, because of their knowledge and technical skills on numbers and understanding what makes these numbers work and how what factors are influencing these numbers on the financial statements. Because when you go up the ladder and when things are being happening, when those meetings happen in the boardrooms, discussions are all around the numbers and everything is about that top line, bottom line, and all of that. Essentially, the future accounting and finance professionals will be the ones that will transform businesses from something to another. We never thought something like Uber will transform the way, transportation or public transportation works. Something like Airbnb will come and disrupt the way, hotel industries work. Something like Amazon will come in and disrupt the whole e-commerce and, the way, local organizations and businesses work. So it's always about, going in and giving a new shape to the existing and finding out about different ways of doing the same thing. There will obviously be the data navigators as well. Data is the new oil, as they say, and accounting and finance professionals will definitely be the best ones to understand this data and navigate this data, make sense of these data. These will include roles from ranging from, AI experts going into fintech, machine learning, the whole host of all these new rising concepts and career opportunities that are coming into play. The accounting and finance professionals will also be the digital playmakers, which is one of the key career zones. Again, we are already seeing this in practice with a lot of the big four firms, where they've got a separate segment, of accounting and finance professionals. These people are called the digital accelerators, or these people are called the digital trailblazers. They do the same thing. They've all been given different tags and different titles, but the idea is to enhance the value of their operations in get more efficiencies involved, see how they can digitalize and automate most of the processes. And this is going to be a big area of opportunity for the future accounting and finance professionals. And again, of course, we can't forget the last and the final one, which is the sustainability trailblazer. Now, sustainability trailblazer, when I say that, I mean, these are going to be people that will be giving organizations that strategic direction, the ability to survive, sustain themselves for as long as it is, humanly possible. These are people who are going to be the experts. These are people who are going to be the communicators with different stakeholders of an organization. So the sustainability tailblazer will also be a huge career zone for the future accounting and finance professionals. Now, beyond the five career zones, you see the skills that I was mentioning or referring to earlier. These are the seven professional quotients of success as ACCA describes them. These professional quotients of success are very much the enablers of success, for any future professional accounting and finance professionals. Now, if you look at it, the technical and ethical skills will always be at the heart of the qualification. So the technical and ethical skills are important. You will still need to understand the debits and the credits and how the financial statements work, etc. But apart from the technical and ethical, there are many other soft skills that encompass, in shaping somebody as a well-rounded professional. They range from being creative, emotional intelligence, having that kind of experience, that kind of vision. Digital quotient is also very important, and intelligence, key thing in ensuring that a professional is really adding that value going forward to the sustenance of an organization. And these seven professional quotients are also very important, highly important in ensuring that, organizations are hiring the right kind of people, and which is why we as ACCA have taken that responsibility upon ourselves to ensure our future members have not only they're equipping themselves with the right technical and ethical skills, but we've also given them the opportunity to polish a lot of these professional quotients via our exams, the way we conduct our exams, or even via the incorporating a lot of these things into our ethics and professional skills module, which is why we call it the ethics and professional skills module. Now, here's the linkage, and this is how you'll probably be able to see the linkage between what we do as ACCA and what we think is going to be some of the success factors going forward. So you look at the ACCA's competency framework here in front of you, which obviously, apart from ethics and professionalism, also involve all the technical skills. There are things like advisory consultancy, the digital and technology, strategy, innovation, leadership management, to corporate reporting, management accounting, taxation. Now, these all are very nicely encompassed into your ACCA qualification, whether it is via or exams or whether it is the ethics and professional skills module. At every step of the qualification, we try and shape your skills, not just technical, but also your professional skills. And we've embedded these into our competency framework. So by the time you finish the entire ACCA qualification, you are guaranteed to have absorbed a lot of these competencies in yourself, So this is why employers very much recognize and respect the ACCA qualification, and also respect the fact that anybody that has gone through the rigor of this qualification is fully prepared to help support the organization in achieving its ambitions and its reach. So that's the kind of recognition this qualification brings. That's the kind of respect the qualification brings, and we across the globe, are proud of the recognition that we have through the employers. Anywhere you go, whether you join the big four firms, whether you join the industries, they will all look at people who are professionally qualified. ACCA is still largely the choice of professional qualification for employers, and then that's a testament of all the hard work that we put into shaping the qualification, our history, which is rich, which is ancient, which is the 115 years worth of experience that we've put into designing and constantly evolving this qualification. It all talks about the value of this qualification. Accountants will always need competencies across a broad range, and the skills and abilities to basically evolve themselves, update themselves and keep themselves relevant as and when they go. But above all, these are going to be people that are going to be hugely in demand, because these are the future of any organization. These are people that will give organizations the strategic direction, and without them, organizations will find it difficult to sort of survive, steer themselves, and retain their position. So this is all from my side. That's what I wanted to talk to you about, basically giving you that insight into what the future holds for all of you. And I would still urge very, very strongly that you still go in, read a bit about the profession, read a bit about accountancy and finance and where it's going. And if you've got any questions, you've got our contact details. Alternatively, you've also got contact details of BIBF, and feel free to reach out to any one of us, and we should be able to help you answer any of your other questions, apart from the Q&A, of course, that we'll be having in a couple of minutes. So thank you for listening to us, and over to you, Muzammil.
Thank you so much, Tahir, for your insightful talk on the future of accountancy and how the ACCA is going to help students accomplish the obstacles or overcome the obstacles that lay ahead of them in the future. So I'll just share my screen, and in terms of what is coming up, I'll be discussing the support that BIBF provides to students in terms of how we prepare them for the exams and how we can help them accomplish this particular qualification. So we've got a very strong mechanism in place here at BIBF, where we have stringent attendance requirements, where students are basically enforced to attend their classes live, and we've got a lecture plan requirement from our instructors to ensure that adequate coverage of the syllabus is covered within the classroom. The lecture plan also incorporates the activities that will be conducted by the the tutors, which includes entry exercises, maybe role play exercises, maybe some sort of quiz that the students will have to undertake. We have extra resources available to students through the online student portal, where they have access to BIBF online library, where they can access a range of material on their topic of interest, or topics that are covered in the ACC qualification. Throughout their classes, we will be conducting regular tests, regular mock exams, and towards the end of the session as well, we will be conducting a final mock exam in order to prepare them well for the final exam that we will be taking with ACCA. So it is completely focused towards obtaining results. So it's a result oriented mechanism that we've put in place to ensure that our students are passing their exams in the very first attempt itself. BIBF also provides what BIBF has done in this particular pandemic is that we are now offering a blended approach towards the classes where students have the opportunity to either attend the classes online, and if we get a basically a go ahead from the authorities, students will also be given the option to attend the classes live in our BIBF premises. So students basically would be having both the options, provided we get the go ahead from the authorities. And if a student is attending online, it will be through our very interactive student portal, which is called the BIBF My Class portal. The BIBF My Class portal is your basically one-stop shop for a student, which provides you access to all of your ACCA courses that you've enrolled with BIBF. You will have access to your course notes, which are exam-focused notes prepared by lecturers here at BIBF. You will also get access to BIBF online library through the student portal. You'll have access to other learning tools through this particular system. The My Class portal has several other features that you can make use of. It is easily accessible from laptops, computers, tablets, smartphones. So there is no issue of accessibility as well. It is very simple and easy to use. So it's very interactive. It's not going to take students a long time just to understand the portal itself. So it's very simple. It's designed to make it easy to be used. It monitors the students' progress. So through at the back end, the system is monitoring your attendance. The system is monitoring your quiz results, your mock test results, your activeness, your presence in the class, the virtual classroom, and on the basis of that, it is calculating your progress towards the completion of your course. So as the students approach towards the end of the course, they can see their progress, which is basically 83%, 93%, which gives you an idea of what is your preparation level towards your final exam that you're going to take. The portal is very interactive. Obviously, students can switch their webcams on, their basically microphones on. There is a chat feature over there. The students can also share their presentation. The control can be given to the students as well, where they can share their presentation and maybe take part in a role play exercise where maybe they are discussing a particular topic in front of the virtual classroom. It is a very entertaining and very effective portal, and like I said, it's very easy to use. Faculty team at BIBF, we've got very well experienced and highly qualified faculty when it comes to the ACCA qualification training. On your screen, you can see the various faculty members we have here, who will be basically taking you through different topics that are, or different courses that are there in the ACCA qualification. So I'll give you a brief background about each of the faculty members, which includes myself. I have over 10 years of experience, and I will be taking care of the business and technology and financial accounting courses in the upcoming term. Then we've got Mr. Salman Ahmed, who also who has more than 15 years of experience. This is in fact, all of our faculty members have both industry experience as well as educational training experience. So the student gets a best of both worlds. Okay, so basically we are exam focused. We are going to prepare you for the exam as well as for once you pass your exams and once you enter your the job market. The faculty members will also be taking you through when you're attending your classes with their experience when as part of their professional experience in the industry. So we've got Mr. Salman Ahmed, who will be taking you through management accounting and performance management. We've got Mr. Masood Abbasi, who has over 20 years of experience in the educational sector, and he'll be taking you through the taxation papers, the law paper, and the audit paper. Then we've got Mr. Muhammad Abu Bakr, who is our financial reporting specialist, and obviously he'll be also taking care of the strategic business reporting paper. He is, he has over 8 years of experience in the educational sector, and further more years of experience in the consulting, in a consultancy firm. We've got Alibaba. Alibaba is going to take you through the SBL course of the ACCA qualification. Again, Alibaba has over 10 years of experience, which includes also the educational training experience. We've got Mr. Muhammad Ismail. He also has 10 years of experience, over 10 years of experience. And we've got Mr. Bilal Naeem, who is basically our Oxford Brookes mentor, who will be taking you through the Oxford Brookes program that that ACCA provides in partnership with Oxford Brookes University. So as you can see, all of our faculty members are highly qualified and highly experienced in terms of their relevant subject areas. Why should you opt for the ACCA qualification here at BIBF with Morgan International? Well, as mentioned earlier by Ahmed and by Mr. Tahir Kapasi, we are the only ACCA Platinum tuition provider in Bahrain, which means that we have to meet certain performance targets which have been set forward by ACCA, and they are reviewed on a regular basis to maintain that particular level of service that we provide to students. I'd also like to highlight that platinum approval is the highest level of approval from ACCA side that an institute gets in terms of training students. So we are the only platinum approved provider in Bahrain. As mentioned earlier, we've got highly qualified and highly experienced faculty with not only educational training experience, but also industry experience, which will help the candidate after once they join the job market. We also provide career counseling, so I'm always available to students to offer them guidance on how to go about, searching for jobs, how to prepare for a particular interview, etc. As mentioned earlier, we are result oriented, so we have several mechanisms in place to ensure that students are being prepared in a manner where they will be able to clear their exams in the very first attempt. So it's a complete exam preparation package that we are offering here at BIBF. Besides all of that, by joining BIBF, you get access to several free, webinars and learning events, which basically focus on different things, which could include how to write a CV, how to prepare for an interview, how maybe tips on how to effectively use Microsoft Word, or maybe tips on how to use maybe MS Office applications, other applications, etc. So you can make use of those webinars as well as a student of BIBF. We also have a financial simulation training program here at BIBF. So as a student, you can get access to that as well, and where you can learn how to trade basically stocks, cryptocurrencies. We have a dealing room here at BIBF for that particular purpose, which is the first in the Middle East of its kind. We also provide you access to several professional conferences and seminars, which are actually limited, which have limited seats, but our preference is always given to our students when it comes to those conferences. We also have other professional qualifications. So once you're done maybe with the ACCA qualification and you want to specialize maybe in internal audit, we will help you and we will guide you to the relevant professional qualification in internal audit. Or if you want to pursue a professional you want to further your career in any other particular area, we will guide you with those professional qualifications as well. If you want to do a master's degree program, we will provide you guidance with that as well. And last but not least, we've got state-of-the-art facilities, which not only the facilities, but we've also have the state-of-the-art student portal, which I've previously described, which is the BIBF My Class portal, and I've listed all of those, the benefits of using that particular system. So basically, these are all of the reasons that you should keep in mind and make your decision when choosing your learning provider when it comes to the ACCA qualification. Just to give you an idea of our facilities, as mentioned at the beginning of the session, we have our premises, which is due to be inaugurated in the month of September this year. And just to give you an idea of how it looks like, you can see on your screen there's a very good looking library with the open basically water facing front. You can see a picture of one of the classrooms that we have in our new building over there. We have an ambient auditorium as well over there to conduct live events, hopefully. And we've got student lounge. So these are just snapshots of the very few facilities or very few things that are available in our new campus that you will be making use of. In terms of all of the reasons that I've given you, this would be the most significant part. This would basically just to sum it all, as an ACC approved provider, we have proved ourselves, and in terms of high achievers, our students have consistently performed well in the ACC exams. And on your screen you can see the high achievers in our past exams that were conducted by ACCA. So we've achieved high achievers in Bahrain, in the region, which is the GCC region, and also we've had students who have achieved high marks in Saudi Arabia, who were actually students at BIBF. So I'd like to highlight something over here. Since Saudi Arabia does not have a platinum approved ACCA provider, we've got lots of students from Saudi Arabia also who attend classes here at BIBF, and basically they're at the moment they're attending it online. However, in the past they used to come physically to the premises to attend classes at BIBF, and that's the result of the quality of service that we provide to students. So our next batch is starting from the 31st of July. On your screen, you can see the summary of the courses that we are providing in the upcoming term and the start dates and the faculty that will be taking you through these courses and the faculty qualifications. At the end of this particular session, we will also be dropping all of the attendees with an email thanking you for your attendance today, along with the details of the program. And if you have any further questions or anything that you'd like to ask, you can feel free to approach us and we'll be happy to help you out with all of your questions. So that's it from my side. If you have any questions, please do let us know in the chat and we will be happy to answer all of your questions. So Abby, I'll hand over the platform to you if you can read out any questions that are pending, and we'll answer those questions.
Yes, so we have a question from Tejan.
Sorry for the interruption, Mozambique and Abby. Just an update. I'm sorry, I think I'm echoing.
Yes, Ahmed. No,
Yeah.
no. Yes, please.
Yeah,
Tell me.
Tahir has to leave due to some personal commitment. So I will be, I'm here. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Yes. So I'll request the audience to put forward your questions, and myself and Mr. Ahmed Bilal will be answering your questions. So feel free to leave your questions in the chat box. We'll read them out and we'll answer your questions. So Abby, do we have any questions pending that we can maybe answer?
Yes, so we have a question from Tejan. If I don't have an enhanced background knowledge in accounting and finance and have a BSc in banking and finance, will the ACCA qualification be the right future prospect or approach for me?
Right. That's a very valid and a very relevant question. Thank you so much, Tejan, for asking this. So, for example, if I've understood your question right, that you don't have an accounting and finance or a BSc banking and finance degree, right? So even if you are coming, so we are talking about that even if you are coming from a school background, so that means you have a 10th grade or 12th grade qualification and you join ACCA after your school. So ACCA qualification is designed in a way that there is a reason that the qualification is divided into various parts so that it makes you ready, for the applied knowledge level. It gives you a basic understanding about accounting and finance and the different terms that are used in the accounting and finance sphere. But once you progress into the applied skills level and then onto the strategic professional level, that the knowledge that you get on the applied knowledge level and on the applied skills level, that is that is designed in a way that you'll be able to, if you are serious with your education and your qualification, you'll be easily able to get through to the qualification. So it's designed in a way that even if you don't have an accountancy or finance background, you'll be able to do that. Number one. Number two, I talked about flexibility. So ACC qualification is all about flexibility, and ACC don't believe in artificial barriers. So it's not a qualification for anyone who has an accounting and finance background. So the purpose of the qualification is that it is open and flexible for anyone coming from any background. The qualification makes you ready for the future by giving you the right amount of knowledge, by the right skills, by the right talent, in order to make you prepare for the changing world. So even if you don't have any prior qualification relevant to accounting and finance, it's still the right choice for you depending upon your career choice. So for example, why did I say that? That at one point you were interested in doing engineering, and then you decide switching your career to accounting and finance. That would be a complete 180-degree shift. So number one thing would be, are you interested in joining accountancy and finance? If yes, yeah, ACCA is the right qualification for you.
Okay, Abby, do we have any further questions?
Yes, we have a question from Love. Candidate has asked, can there be any financial support that you provide?
Okay. In terms of financial support, we at BIBF do provide several options to students, especially to high achiever students. So if a student has achieved a certain marks in their ACCA exams or is a high achiever with ACCA, we do support them with some fee waivers. Details of which we will be emailing it to you, Ilaf. And in terms of ACCA also, I believe, provides certain, financial support in terms of the fees that are payable to ACCA. I believe, Ahmed, if you can highlight maybe if there is any financial support from ACCA side to high achievers, worldwide prize winners.
Right, Muzammil, first of all, ACC is a not-profit organization, right? So that means that we are, since we are operating globally, so providing financial incentive is something which is not very viable for ACCA. Having said that, you've talked about place winner. So if somebody has scored or secured a global place in in any exam, ACCA, just for the recognition of their effort, ACCA give them a one-off prize, which is not very sufficient. So for example, maybe a 200 pounds gift. But in terms of the financial support, there is no such support offered by ACCA because, as we have said, we are working in the education sector and we are a non-for-profit organization. So ACCA do not provide any such offers.
All right. So Ilaf will be dropping you an email with the support that we provide to our high achievers. So please, we have your email and we'll communicate that to you. Abby, any further questions?
Yes, Hassan has asked, as per the exemptions calculator, I have 7 exemptions. So I would have 6 remaining papers. And would it be possible to take all remaining papers in 1 year?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, if you are exempted from 7 papers, that is a very good news, Ahmed. And if you're left with 6 papers, and if you think you are confident enough to pass all those 6 papers in 1 year, yes, you are more than welcome to go for it. You have 4 exam sessions, so you can plan your journey in a way that you can give uh, you can give two in one session, two in one session, then you can take a break for one session, and you can give the last two in the last session of the year. So it's completely up to you how you want to plan your journey. Remember, I will once again reiterate myself, that ACC qualification is all about flexibility. It gives you the, you are on the steering wheel. So whatever way you want to drive your career, you can do so. So, on the other hand, there might be some questions that how it's different from academic qualification. So for example, after completing your bachelor, after completing your school, you decide to go for a university. So in university, you would have to go into a semester system, right? So that means every semester you have to take certain number of papers, you have to pass all of them. But with ACCA, there is no such, there is no such requirement. So in one session, if you think you are confident, you can go for 3 papers. But in the next session, if you think that you're not ready, or you're facing any financial trouble, or you're not ready for the exam, or you have any other trouble, you can skip that session and you can plan for the next session. So there is no such compulsion from ACCA's end. ACCA is all about flexibility.
And just to top up on that, Hassan, feel free to get in touch with myself, and I'll help you, design your journey in terms of how you can go about the qualification and how we at BIBF can support you with that. Abby, any further questions?
We have a question from Ilaf again. Will the sessions be online or in person, and will the classes be starting from the 1st of August?
Okay. The classes are going to be on, as mentioned earlier, we are going to follow a blended approach, which means that students, if we get a go ahead from the authorities, we will give students both the option to attend online or by attending physically, by having basically attending physically in premises itself, provided we get the go ahead. Otherwise, the sessions that we are going to start off from 31st of July as planned will be conducted online only. So it depends really on the COVID situation, and hopefully if things get well, we will offer students both the options.
The next question. In case I have to leave the country, can I continue my studies in some other country as it is a global course?
Yes, of course you can. ACCA has tuition providers across the world, and if you happen to leave Bahrain, you can continue your journey anywhere in the world, and you can even avail the services of those approved learning partners. Directory of the ACC approved learning partners is available on their website, so you can visit that particular directory and find out if there are any approved learning partners in that particular country, if you are hopefully if you are transferring to another country.
Thank you, Muzambil. And if I can top it up,
Yes.
again, once again, I will reiterate because this is the best part I like about ACC qualification again, flexibility, right? So you're not bound. We say that it's a global passport for a reason because you can travel all over the world. So as Muzammil has mentioned that we have tuition providers all over the world. Yes, that's correct. We do have exam centers all over the world as well. So for example, there are 13 exams. And if you are an avid traveler and if you think that you have to give all 13 exams in different locations, you can do so, right? So you have the option, you have the flexibility of studying anywhere, studying anytime, appearing in an exam anywhere in the world, studying with any learning provider all over the world. So it's totally up to you. You are not bound, so no boundaries can actually define your career. You're free to move all over the world as you wish.
Yes, Abby, do we have any further questions?
That's the last question that we have received.
That's the last question. All right, excellent. So I will now be sharing my so So thank you so much to the audience for attending today's info session. On screen, you can see our contact details mentioned. So if you have any questions related to, the course that we are providing at BIBF, you feel free to approach us on morgan@bibf.com, or feel free to call us, give us a call on 17816319. If you have any questions related to ACCA, or maybe you want to get in touch with ACCA, you can also contact us and we will provide you with their details as well. And as mentioned earlier, we will be sending across an email with the details of the ACCA program and all the other questions that were raised. We will answer those questions. So we'll share with you the fee structure and the support that we offer. Right. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And until next time, take care.
Thank you, Muzammil. If I may add one last
Yes,
point.
please.
So, thank you guys. Thank you for attending to this session on behalf of ACCA Middle East. Thank you so much for bearing with us, for listening to everything we have discussed. I would say it's about your career. So, if there is any further questions, you should not feel shy reaching out to Muzammil, reaching out to the team in the ACCA team in Middle East. But do reach out to us in order to in order to clarify whatever you have in your mind. So on the basis of that only you will be able to decide your next move. So thank you so much, and you all of you take care of yourself, and have a fabulous week ahead.
Thank you so much, Ahmed, for your time as well. And thanks to all of the audience attending. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.